Hello, good evening, and welcome. Tonight, I would like to bring to you some grave and awful, horrendous news that's happened in the last year. Everything. That's it. Everything. Such a year of fakery. Come on. Forgot what I called this, but something about faking it. Most people, good morning, by the way. It is only morning, and we are here to be peaceful human beings, loving and caring for each other in a compassionate world. Saturday, December 28th, and it's still freaking spinning. The world is spinning, the media is spinning, my head is spinning with all this freaking nonsense. Freaking, I don't like saying that word because it's fake for fucking. It's fucking nonsense. Stop following fools. Get in touch with yourself. Go within. There is a better way. Peaceful solutions. Love. Bugger me. Really? Come on. Come on. You think I was talking about my favourite football team who are going through a bad patch of losing every game, but I'm not. It's the overarching general public malaise. It's like prior to this last couple years, probably more than a couple, probably 5 years, I attributed a certain amount of intelligence to a lot of people that I'm now finding either I was wrong, and that's a very strong possibility. Believe me, I've been wrong before. But either I was wrong or something's happened. I don't know what happened, but people's intelligence level went from curious natural inquiry into, oh my God, is this it? Is this it? It's like, what? Come on. We're creative human beings. We're supposed to be able to do this. Good Lord. Good lurid. Sorry, I'm looking at another screen right now because there was something on this other screen that I'm going to read. I'm going to read something which is, important to me, but might end up being important to you. Excuse me. Because I think it's something that's been forgotten in the chaos and the ability to turn a drama, a nice dramatic life into a crisis. So we've got to get back to a basic understanding, and I'm going to read it because there's a lot of it that has been known for many, many, many centuries. And not only is the memory pill, that whatever it is, you know, the light that they use in that silly show about aliens coming, you know, like memory wipe. Something's happened. So I'm going to read something that was written by the ancient Greeks, Greek philosophers, many centuries ago. The ancient Greeks had 8 words that corresponded to different types of love. Eros, romantic, passionate love. The first kind of love is Eros, named, and I'm not, these are in order that somebody put them in. I don't know if it's the first, the last, but they want a second type, you know, they're just making a list. Okay. So there are 8 different types of love. Eros, romantic, passionate love. The first kind of love is Eros, named after Greek god of fertility. Eros is passion, lust, and pleasure. The ancient Greeks consider Eros to be dangerous and a little frightening, as it involves a loss of control through the primal impulse to procreate. Eros is an intense form of love that arouses romantic and sexual feelings. Well, we all know that. I mean, I'm talking to adults, so we all know that feeling, you know, when you get your wiggle on, you know, and it is kind of when it's confused for other types of love. And that's why there are 8 types of love that they could describe, the ancient Greeks. So I'm reading off script now. This is my opinion. All right. Philia, affectionate love. The second type of love is philia, or friendship. Plato felt that physical attraction was not a necessary part of love, hence the use of the word platonic. See, Plato, platonic, you're following? Yeah. I know it's boring, but you're going to listen. Hence the use of the word platonic to mean without physical attraction. So that to me is like, you know, being friends with somebody and it without judgment, you know. It's like, I don't care if I'm physically attracted to you or not physically attracted to you. You're a very close friend to me. I mean, I like philia. That's a good one. They're all in their own right very good. But this is the one that I've been talking about a lot. And they call it agape, selfless universal love. Selfless universal love, such as the love for strangers, nature, or God. Now, that I kind of like, yeah, strangers, nature, or God. Well, God is nature. God is in everybody. So, strangers, nature. I believe that agape is what I've been focused on most of my life, which is unconditional love. Okay. This love is unconditional, agape love, bigger than ourselves, a boundless compassion, and an infinite empathy that you extended to everyone, whether they are family members or distant strangers. So this is the all-encompassing agape, or unconditional love, that I've been mostly, well, that's at the core of my being. I think it's at the core of everybody's being, but I do think that I've been trying to act out of that unconditional love in 2024, which is why I'm like, wow, fake love. Whew. Anyway, this one, gonna mess it up. Storge. It's a word. Storge. Familiar love. Storge is a natural form of affection experienced between family members. The natural form of affection between family members. This protective, kinship-based love is common between parents and their children, and children for their parents. Storge can also describe a sense of patriotism towards a country or allegiance to the same team. You know, it's the sense of belonging. It's often tapped into by people who want to shift you into a nationalistic way of reacting to everything. In other words, it's like it can be used. Storge, it's formed naturally as a bond in a family. It's perfectly, and then unnatural things happen to it because it's out in society. But it's also used to, in the past few years for sure, a lot of people have turned towards nationalism because they want to feel like they belong to a bigger picture that is as caring as our family might be for each other. And the powers that were have used that type of love, and in the fake way, by flying flags and USA, or make Great Britain, you know, all these things. It's just so an awareness of I'm gonna mess it up. So awareness of that storge, familiar love, and the way in which it's been manipulated, especially over the last year. Everybody, from the liars and lawyers, you know, the people who pretend they're in control, the politicians, they're all saying family values, bring back family values. We love you. Load of shite. So they use, you know, that can be wielded. I mean, the thing is, most of these loves, I mean, aside from agape, most of these 7 other Greek descriptive loves can be used. I mean, used for good, for bad, for whatever, but they can be used to manipulate people. But if you get in touch with the one big one, agape, unconditional love, then it has very little effect. All right. Mania, obsessive love. When love turns to obsession, it becomes mania. Stalking behaviors, codependency, extreme jealousy, and violence are all systems of mania. The thing is with mania, as being one of these 8 descriptive, there's probably about 8,000, but 8. Oh my God! Good morning, Juicy and Lucy. How you doing? Gosh, these are 2 people that are so brilliant, have expanded my mind and my perception. But I want to just keep going through this. When love turns into obsession, it becomes mania. This one is kind of weird because it's very closely related to Eros love, which is that obsessive quality that just like, I wanna, you know, and that becomes a loop within itself. So mania can become a loop, and mania has been used many times over the last, I mean, I'm not doing an end of year roundup, but I'm just doing a sort of, let's wake up and stop following the fools. Okay. And the way we can do that is to embrace more love and more peace. So I'm trying to use the Greek's description of 8 different types of love. Okay. So, when love turns to obsession, it becomes mania. They've made us feel desperately lonely. Who's they? Okay. Putting a person into an isolation where they're not interacting with others creates this sense of loneliness and this urge to that's within to belong, to need something, and then out of that grows mania. And this mania type of love is very dangerous, because you're desperately clinging to something, someone, and it's not a two-way street. There's no way this is going to become a two-way street. It's a one-way street that they're controlling, and it's in mania is a hard one. It's often, you often see it, you know, people who are like maniacally maniacally pushing their idea of love, and it's just mania, it's just obsession. Okay, ludus, playful love. The ancient Greeks thought of ludus as a playful form of love. It describes the situation of having a crush and acting on it, or the affection between two young lovers. I really associate this with Eros, because Eros is Eros love, you know, that urge is, it's prevalent in everybody, unless you have no libido, which is like having no ego. It's like, is it possible? I don't think so. But anyway, ludus, playful form of love, like Eros. It describes the situation having a crush and acting on it, or the affection between young lovers. Now I'm seeing this play out. I mean, because we've got the world whipped up into this preying on youth preying. I mean, this is ridiculous. The amount of people that are harming children, knowingly harming children by playing this fucking card. Oh, and I'm not just, I'm talking about for centuries, including the Greeks, especially the Greeks, who manipulated youth into sexual beings at way too young an age. So it's so we are run by idiots who are pedophiles. That's how the country is. The world, society is. They put these puppets in this level by tempting them with youthful love, but they're just puppets. Above them are the puppeteers, and they too have no compassion. So they'll absolutely not think about anything except power. They're actually psychopaths, but the psychopaths use the sociopaths, who use the narcissists, who manipulate society. You know, this is still a ridiculous hierarchy. But let me get on. Ludus, playful love. The ancient Greeks thought of love as a playful form of love. See, the thing is, okay, and I think this kind of happened at the beginning of the last year's Olympics, was, you know, this whole idea, it's okay, we're just playing. And it's like, wait a minute, what are you doing? And, you know, the opening and closing ceremony was pretty satanic, pretty nasty. And the Olympics itself has become a horror show for me, because it's not the best of the best anymore. It's the best of the best sponsors. So it's way too commercial, a bit like Christmas, a bit like other holidays, a bit like other events. You know, my favorite soccer team is the one that's got the most money, but it's not spending it wisely. So they're a bunch of losers, and anyway, enough of me. Get back to this. No, I want to touch on that, because I'm using the Greeks' description of 8 types of love. I want to touch on this, the Olympics. I mean, I was in England, in London, in the East End of London in I think it was 2014. Was it 2012? I can't remember. 2012, when the Olympics happened in England, and Oh my God. Ugh. Anyway, so it's a multimedia manipulation of mankind. A multimedia manipulation of mankind. Lots of M's. Anyway, moving on to pragma. Pragma is enduring love. It's a love built on commitment, understanding, and long-term best interests. It is a love that is aged, matured, and about making compromises to help the relationship work over time. Also, showing patience and tolerance. Pragma. That's, you know, people say, oh, they're pragmatic. Yeah, division. I'm just reading a nice comment from Juicy and Lucy. Please look up Juicy and Lucy. They're pretty sound, solid, wonderful people. Oh gosh, lost my place. Have I? Nope. Pragma. The problem I have with being pragmatic is you're not being selective enough. And human beings should accept the giant consciousness that is unconditional love, or agape. They should accept that that's what runs us and nature and everything. But with pragmatism, you've made a commitment. It's a love built on commitment, understanding, and long-term best interests. Well, long-term best interests has to be, for me, the unconditional love, the agape. You know, I mean, so this one kind of, it talks about matured, making compromises to help the relationship. I think this is a poor explanation, because, you know, people talk about their relationships when in truth we're all in a relationship. We're all in a relationship with life, with society. We are society. That's our relationship. How do we work that relationship is the only way, you know, which is enduring love. But that enduring love is unconditional. Anyway, that's pragma, described by this person interpreting their Greek versions of love. I've got to remember this is written in English, and there's an interpretation going on here. Philia. I'm probably making a mess of this one. It's Philia. Philia. Self-love. The Greeks understood that in order to care for others, we must first learn to care for ourselves. To love others, you must first learn to love yourself. It's not that difficult, really. You know, I mean, when you were a child, that the world was within. I mean, up until you were probably 6 or 7 years old, most of your interactions with the world were, what are you doing in my world? You know, this is a, you know, so all of the interacting you do has to be based on something you forgot even when you were born, you know, that unconditional agape love. But self-love is when you've learned how to bring that love into society. I mean, it's different interpretation. Look after the individual in front of you, and in the end, someone will pat you on the back. I pat myself on the back. Okay, the Greeks understood that in order to care for others, we must first learn to care for ourselves. Yes, as Aristotle said, and this to me is one of the better quotes from Aristotle, who was a very learned man, just a philosopher, sat there and wrote about life rather than live it. A bit like me talking to the screen. Aristotle said, all friendly feelings for others are an extension of a man's feelings for himself, or woman. So all friendly feelings for others, I love you all, are an extension of a man's feelings for himself. So love's funny. All right. So that's my... Yes, a stranger is a friend you've never met. I 100% agree. But there are usurpers of all of these things. This past year, I'm going to just do a little mini roundup because, oh no, yeah, I've got 3 or 4 minutes. Okay, mini roundup of 2024. Anybody that tells you they know better than you what you want is a liar, a cheat, a manipulator, and is trying to control you. The mainstream media went full on. All of the media went full on trying to tell you what you want. Isn't it time to step into your own shoes? Love yourself. Use unconditional love. Because they've been lying. People are saying, oh my God, that's fake news. All of it. The whole damn lot. Fake news. Somebody is telling you how to feel, how to react, how to be. Stop following fools. 2025, stand in your own sovereignty, become the most powerful person you know, and use that power for good, for peace, for love, unconditional love, and be absolutely aware that everybody else is like that too. So we all have that strength of individual power, love, understanding, compassion. And the ones that haven't got it, they'll stand out like a sore thumb. You'll be able to go, want nothing to do with them. And that's what I mean about stop following fools. And stop listening to the fake. Get real. Be love. Be peace. Love you. 2025. Thank you for joining me, Juicy and Lucy. You are the best. You are absolutely 100% the best people in the world. And you always have been. But you're also educators, and I think that's so good. The stories you tell, they're so brilliant. Bye now.